I'm a small axe, you're a small axe, and this is a small axe. Thank you so much for joining me again. Um, so today we will be talking about citizenship and specifically Jamaican citizenship. How are you able to get a Jamaican passport, Jamaican citizenship if you are a descendant of Jamaicans? So when I say descendant of Jamaicans, I mean that either your grandmother, grandfather, or father or mother are Jamaican people, Jamaican born people. Now, with that being said, then you would be eligible. You are entitled. It is your right that you have Jamaican citizenship. So, um, currently, this video is being posted after the election of Donald Trump for the second time. And for people like myself, and I know many others, it is very scary. Some of the important fights that Black people specifically, Indigenous people, women, so many people have made, so many of the progress that they've made, especially during the civil rights movement, the women's rights movement, LGBTQ movement, a lot of these civil rights we know for sure will be eroded, and we've started to see some of that erosion happening already. Now, I think citizenship, Jamaican citizenship specifically, has been important to me just because it's one thing to be socialized in the diaspora as like a Jamaican. It's another thing though to have political stakes in the space and to be committed to helping that space move forward and learning and growing, and learning from the people who live there. Um, I feel it's important, especially for those of us in the diaspora, especially if we say that we are in community with people in Jamaica, that we learn the history and we learn the political landscape and we learn exactly how these different things work. And I don't know everything, but I have taken a lot of time to try to find things out. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you today. So, so some of the things that you need in order to gain Jamaican citizenship. Number one, there is a Jamaican citizenship form that you should go ahead and fill out. And that should be completed in, I believe, black pen. You also need your original birth certificate, the original birth paper for your mother, father, or grandma, grandpa. If you have, and not a copy, but the original of all these different documents that I just laid out. You will also need 2 recent passports. And the way that they want you to take the picture is like very specific. So I would recommend that, like, if you're going to the consulate, just let them take the picture for you. You're going to have to pay an additional fee. Go ahead and just let them take the picture for you, because they want like a pastel blue background and like a pastel background. You can't smile. There's like just specific way that you have to look in the image. And so in order for your body to be legible to the state, I think it's just best to just take the picture there. What I will also say, please make an appointment, okay? You can't just pop up to the consulate like you're going to the hair salon. You can't even do that at the hair salon. So please ensure that you make a appointment, and I can go ahead and put links to everything that I'm talking about. You want to make sure that you go ahead and make an appointment. I remember I signed up for an appointment, I believe it was like January, and I wasn't like, my appointment wasn't till March. Like it was like months and months and months before I was able to be seen by somebody. So this process is not one that, like, especially if you're doing it in the diaspora, like in the United States, is going to take forever and a day. Now, if you are somebody who is engaging in this process in Jamaica, from what I hear, that process is a whole lot faster. Um, so again, like, why exactly would someone want to engage in this sort of process? Again, I just think that it's important to have your body be legible to a different nation state. To know that, like, God forbid, like, if something happened, like, there's a home base. Like, I remember talking to my dad, and like after the election, I'm just like, Daddy, I just want to run away. And just like knowing that, like, Jamaica is home base, like, it is where a huge chunk of my family still lives. And there are just certain ways of being and knowing that, like, feel very natural to me. And again, like, it is the recognition of my body by a different nation state. To say that being a Black person in the United States is hard is an understatement. And I think that for a lot of people that voted for Donald Trump, they're not necessarily, I think they're not understanding the wrath of this particular administration that will be meeting them in 2025. And the other thing, you can vote. I think, again, just learning the landscape is super important. Learn the geography of the space. If you are someone in the diaspora, it is your job to not just engage in this process. Like, please do it. And also, the work of citizenship for us will be significantly, like, it is going to consistently be a learning process for us. And so doing this is not the beginning and the end. This is just the beginning. Learning about the parliamentary system, especially because, like, with Jamaican citizenship, we are indeed allowed to vote. Whether we're talking, the national elections. So whether we're talking local elections or national elections, we are entitled to vote. And so with that responsibility, I think that it's important for us to know how that system works. Understand what it means to be media literate in this space, and not just, like, you have to be more responsible than just getting information from your Facebook auntie and, whoever on TikTok, right? Like, there are credible institutions that, like, do talk about what's going on. Like, for example, the Jamaica Gleaner has been an institution that has been around since, I want to say, the late 19th century, right? Like, so it's been a credible institution forever. You want to make sure that you're listening to that particular, form of news media, or and also too, like, once you kind of familiarize yourself with the political landscape, you're able to understand, okay, so in the context of Jamaica, this particular vantage point or viewpoint would be considered a conservative vantage point or lens, and in the context of Jamaica, this would be considered a more leftist political vantage point or social vantage point. This is what, the bourgeois look like and sound like in this particular space. And so, kind of like, as you continue to learn the landscape and learn the history and then the space, I think that, like, we can engage in the space more responsibly, instead of being like the dumb Americans who just kind of clumsily, move through the space without a care in the world, and without a responsibility to the people and the nation and the community that we know that we should be responsible to. So for now, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. If you are, like, interested in, engaging in Jamaican citizenship, please go ahead and put a comment, or leave a Jamaican flag emoji in the comment section. Like this video, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.